Hello, I'm Peter Whittle, Director of the New Culture Forum. You've been watching our channel for over a year now. I'm very pleased to say that we have something like 6.7 million views now, and I'm thrilled at the amount of engagement that there is across all the programs. But I founded the New Culture Forum some time before that, in 2006. And I want to read you some of the principles that we based the New Culture Forum on. Here it is. It's quite short. Culture, it is said, is upstream from politics. Certainly we in the New Culture Forum believe that cultural issues are the defining ones of our times. Too many opinion formers nowadays appear to agree that Western culture is indefensible or a source purely of shame. We, however, believe that the West is in fact a unique bastion of reasoned freedom, and that Britain in particular should be proud of the great role it has played in Western education, art and culture. Now, the reason I'm reading those to you is that we're going through a very bad cultural time at the moment, and I want to reaffirm those principles to you, that we stand firmly for them now more than ever. What we've seen over the past few weeks has been an attempt to effectively delegitimise British history, to make it somehow about just one narrative, slavery, when indeed, of course, it is a massive, far-reaching and expansive history. I am very proud of that history. I know we all are here, and I know that you are too. But what we've seen is a weakness on the part of our establishment. Whether it's the Archbishop of Canterbury or whether it's the police, we find that our culture in many ways is under attack, whether it starts off at Winston Churchill or ends up at Charles Dickens. We will always defend our culture, and we will always be proud of it. A few years ago, I wrote a book indeed called Being British, What's Wrong With It? It got quite a reception at the time, because it was actually about the whole period since the Second World War, really, when our history has been questioned and deconstructed, our very values mocked. This has got to end. At the moment, we are seeing a very strong and tumultuous argument that is going on. And frankly, sometimes to you, and indeed to me, it can seem that we are very much on our own and that these things are happening and we have no power over them. But the fact is, the vast majority of this country is proud of it, is proud of its culture and history, and that's absolutely right that it should be. But unfortunately, we have a leadership now which doesn't say these things. Isn't it odd that in fact we have to look to France, to President Macron, who unequivocally said there will be no changing of names in France, there will be no pulling down of statues. That is exactly what we should be hearing from our own leaders, but we're not. But we will say it here at the New Culture Forum instead. There is a lot to be proud of, and I remember at the very end of my book, I quite randomly just listed some things that Britain should be proud of and that our young people should know about. So with your indulgence, if you don't mind, I'd just like to read a few. I'm not going to read loads. I'm just going to list a few things because I think we need to be reminded of them, and indeed our leaders need to be reminded of them. So, what have we given the world? The Industrial Revolution, parliamentary democracy, William Shakespeare, Darwin's concept of evolution, the law of gravity as found by Isaac Newton, the World Wide Web, common law, English, the global language, the King James Bible, penicillin as discovered by Alexander Fleming, the scientific method as developed by Francis Bacon, anaesthetic in the use of surgery as pioneered by Joseph Lister, the great art of Turner, power looms, mass production of steel, virtually all organised modern sport, the human circulatory system as discovered by William Harvey, James Bond, the jet engine, British art, the steam engine, the smallpox vaccination, the CAT scanner, Paradise Lost by John Milton, the structure of DNA, Sherlock Holmes by Arthur Conan Doyle, the world's first modern postal service, the Beatles, the music of Edward Elgar, the music of Benjamin Britten, Sir Winston Churchill, and finally, the abolition of slavery by William Wilberforce, and the fact that the British Navy went around the world for 50 years after that, making sure that it was enforced. All these things are amazing. Britain and its huge industrial and engineering and scientific innovations virtually created the modern world. So I am very proud of it, and I know you are too. Keep the faith, don't be disheartened. Thank you.